What's up guys? We just finished up loading my home gym equipment and now we're in my garage and we've got a big day ahead of us. We're gonna be installing my gym equipment, but more importantly, showing you how we used our online tool, Pro Gym Builder, to map out my space, build my setup, and then bring that into what we're gonna show you today. Let's get this space cleared out behind me so we can get to it. One of the most important things that you need to do before building your gym is size up your space. And we already took the measurements to find out that I've got 130 inches of wall width and 98 inches of ceiling height. So we're gonna take those measurements and then we're gonna go into Pro Gym Builder and start putting the gym together. Welcome to Pro Gym Builder. If you're looking to find Pro Gym Builder from our main page or somewhere else, head on up to the Packages tab and look for Pro Gym Builder in the drop-down menu. Also, we'll drop a link in the description below so you can easily get here. Since we know the measurements of my space, you'll look in the lower left corner of Pro Gym Builder to see that we've already loaded 98 inches and 128 inches of wall width. Wall width changes in bigger increments, so we selected 128 because it's as close to 130 as we can get. Now, if we hit the plus or minus for the ceiling height, we can add or take away depending on the space that you're working with. Now, let's head back to the video so we can start to put the gym together. Last night, I went ahead and marked out all the studs, and let me tell you what, I had a heck of a time finding the studs on this back wall, but we ended up finding hardware closer to the door. We're able to just measure 16, 16, 16, so we got the studs. But due to this space, we're gonna install a stringer board so that we can center the rack so it looks right in this space of 130 inches. Now, if this setup doesn't reek of a home gym, I don't know what does. For those of you maybe wondering what a stringer board is and what the use of a stringer board is, here's my stringer board that we selected right here. It is a 2x6 piece of lumber and it's gonna need to span across 4 studs. So again, in our situation, we found the stud that's in the middle. We've got a 64-inch stringer board that is actually gonna tie into 5 studs. So after we get both of the stringer boards put up, we're going to be able to center our wall brackets and continue installing our rack from there. Now that we've got the stringer boards up and the space is prepped, we're going back into Pro Gym Builder to start adding gym equipment. I've already populated the items that are going in my home gym to keep this process easy, but as you'll be able to tell, you can go in and add anything and be able to build the craziest gym setup or a very simple one. If we start with the rack, I selected a 90-inch Pro rack with a kipping bar. So we've got 90-inch selected, black for the color choice, kipping bar for the pull-up bar. As far as barbells go, I've got a 20 kilo black zinc bar and a 15 kilo black zinc bar, both stored on the wall next to the rack. For plate storage, we've got crumb rubber plates on a 4-peg with a weight wing with some of the fractional plates. You can see how they're selected here. Now, this is a little bit different from what you see at my actual garage because we have the 4-peg on a secondary wall. So now you've got a little taste of what you can do inside a Pro Gym Builder. Have fun building your own home gym, and now let's head back to my gym and start to put this thing together. The stringer boards are installed, and now we're gonna move on to installing the rack. If you are looking for a detailed install video on how to install your rack, I'm gonna link that video in the description below. one of the most important parts when installing your rack to ensure that your rack is going to fold up nicely is to use a plumb line to make sure your wall brackets are plumb before you move on to the next step. All right, just cracked the uprights open. We've got the kipping bar open as well. Last couple steps here, put the kipping bar on the uprights and let's get back to it. All right, we gotta lift the rack up, spin it around, get it into place so we can finish the install. So I'm gonna have Bones from behind the camera come on out and give me a hand. If you haven't noticed yet, you can tell that my wall brackets they're sitting a little bit shorter than a standard install. But I have a ceiling height that's 98 inches. So therefore, we had to find the exact ceiling solution, which is on page 12 of your instructions, that gives you the measurements on where you need to mount your wall bracket so that the rack can still fold up in my space. If you don't have 108 inches, we can still accommodate you. So find your ceiling height, reach out to us. Chances are that we have a solution for you. Okay, like we talked about, a little bit of a shorter ceiling in here. Obviously you can tell top of the rack, things are a little bit tight. So I've got the drill. We're gonna mark out a few spots and then cut out a hole. So when I'm doing pull-ups, I got plenty of room for my head. I'm just kidding. It'll be fine. Fold it out. We got enough room, something to be conscious of, but the install looks great. We're gonna add a few more touches to it, but super happy with the outcome. Now that we've got the rack installed, I picked out our Fleck plates for my weights. These are a new plate that we offer. They are also my favorite. So let's cut into these so you can get another look at them. Check them out. These are clean, great crumb rubber plate. It's gonna last me for a long time and look good. We have used Pro Gym Builder. We've got my gym all set up. Now let's get to the good stuff. We're gonna take a little tour of my space here so I can show and tell you why we've added some of the things we've added and to give you a little look at what some of our garages look like for us that work at PRX Performance. Let's go. So one of the most important things when it comes to a home gym is the flooring. And being the social guy at PRX Performance, it's one of the questions I see almost every day on what do we suggest for floors. And you can tell we've got the standard 4x6 horse stall mats over here. We kind of cut them in to section this off to be the lifting portion. And then in the other parts of the garage, we have just some raised deck flooring. I'm a car guy, I'm a garage guy. I think it looks cool and it offers a level of protection because we live in North Dakota and the garage gets dirty and these are easy to keep clean. So we really like it. First wall of the garage here, pretty simple. We've got whiteboard for when we're drawing up our workouts and then just some standard garage stuff here. Vacuum, hose, cabinets for storage, and we insulated the garage door too so that when we have the heater running here, we don't lose all of the heat out of the garage. Moving over into this side of the garage, more storage. Got a lot of stuff moved inside the house right now because it's starting to get cold out. Mountain bikes are stored up for the year, but it's a hobby we like to do when we're not training or when we get that extra time on the weekends. Floor mat here because again, winter's coming. And try to keep the floors as clean as we can. Working across, we've got more tools. We keep our rooftop tent stored here. We love to go camping, and did you really go camping if you didn't take a picture in your rooftop tent? One of my favorite parts of the garage actually, we have a wall in front of the stairs where you can enter the house, and we kind of built it to be a little bit of a bar. And it would be perfect if there was an outlet on the back wall so we could throw a TV there, but it's a cool spot to sit, mix up your pre-workout, have a protein. When it's nice outside, we got the door open all the time, so this is a fun spot to hang out at. One more important home gym piece, our heater. We don't run it all the time. It's an electronic heater. It can get a little bit expensive, but you know, I'll come out here, I'll turn it on, warm up in the house for maybe 15 minutes, you know, hoodie, sweatpants. By the time I roll out here and get a sweat going, I'm fine. So it really does well for what we need it for in this small space. Now, let's get to the bread and butter, the gym that we've newly added to the garage. Obviously, you know, we went with the black Pro Rack here. We've got some storage options on the other side, chalk bowl. We've got a sandbag over there, some other things that we're gonna add to the wall. I kind of like our 2-wall setup. We've got our weights and storage over here, and there's still some real estate for some other items. But I have some ideas on what I want to add, but let me ask you, get down in the comments, let me know what I should add. Like I said, I've got a few ideas, maybe some crash pads, some things like that, but let me know in the comments what I should add to my gym next. So let's just get a little bit deeper into why we've added some of these pieces, or maybe why I made some of the decisions that I made for this garage gym. We went with the kipping bar. The wife and I, we like performing kipping movements. I know the internet has its own thoughts when it comes to those things, but that's where we're at. That's what we like to do. We're into the CrossFit style workouts. So you could say that the theme of this garage gym is weightlifting with the 2 barbells that we have and a good series of plates, but at the same time, we've got our kipping bar, we've got the plyo box here, some other accessories so that we can mix in cardio when we have to too. And speaking of cardio, we've got it set up right now. Went with the Concept 2 rower, which was actually a wedding gift, so that was a pretty sweet wedding gift. We got the rower here. We're able to store it away so it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but it's an awesome tool when it's -30 outside in the middle of winter. I don't like running anyways, and I'm definitely not running when it's -30. So the rower fits in great. We've got a simple flat bench, which right now is kind of where I set, you know, coffee, pre-workout, maybe a snack if I'm going for a long ride on the rower, but the bench works when we need to do a little bit of bench work, some accessory stuff. All right, we are gonna wrap things up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like we said in the last one, we're trying to get the vlog going. We've got a whole bunch of employees with home gyms, so we're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna tour more gyms, and we're gonna take you guys along with it. In the meantime, keep unfolding your rack, keep sweating, and we'll catch you in the next one.